International lead as anti-war protests continue on college campuses across the United States. The United States House of Representatives is expected to vote in just a few minutes on something called the Antisemitism Awareness Act. It would require the Department of Education to offer the same protections given under the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibits discrimination based on race, color, or national origin, those same protections to Jewish students across the United States in grades K through 12. Joining us now is Republican Congressman Mike Lawler of New York, who introduced the Antisemitism Awareness Act, as well as Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz of Florida, who's one of the 14 Democratic co-sponsors of the bill. So, Congressman Lawler, what would this legislation actually mean practically when it comes to stopping anti-Semitism in American schools?
Well, Jake, it would enshrine into law the IRA working definition of anti-Semitism and its contemporary examples. Going back to President Obama, including President Trump and President Biden, their administrations have accepted the IRA working definition as a commonly understood and respected definition of anti-Semitism. So this would enshrine it into education law and require the Department of Education to use this definition as part of its Title VI discrimination enforcement cases under the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And the objective here really, Jake, is to make sure that people understand what anti-Semitism is. We're seeing it on college campuses all across this country, calling for death to Jews, death to Zionists, calling for Jews to go back to Poland, calling from the river to the sea, the eradication of the state of Israel. So we want to be able to define it and enforce the law. And that is the objective here. This was widely respected by the Obama administration, the Trump administration, and the Biden administration.
So, Congressman Moskowitz, I want you to respond to something that Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeted in the last hour about this bill. She says she's not going to vote for it because the legislation, given your definition, adhering to the definition of anti-Semitism you're going through, it said it could convict Christians of anti-Semitism for believing the gospel that says Jesus was handed over to Herod to be crucified by the Jews. That refers to the part of the definition that you guys are enshrining into law that says that saying that Jews killed Christ is anti-Semitism. She says Jews handing over Jesus to Herod is gospel. What's your response?
Well, first, I want Christians to be able to practice however Christians deem that they need to, and we're not interested in messing with the gospel, nor does this language do that. And I don't think the Jewish community right now is worried what the Jew laser lady has to say. I mean, that's not who we want on our side. So she doesn't want to be helping us protect communities against anti-Semitism. We're not surprised. She's been one of the people in this hall that has stoked anti-Semitism in the past. So, you know, I'm not surprised about this, but this is a bipartisan effort. You're going to see the majority of members support this today, as they have on other anti-Semitism resolutions going on out there. This is a really important time right now for the Jewish community, with students being scared on campus. We've seen this ramp up, Jake, but what we've seen now in the last couple of weeks, the blurriness, the blending of the anti-war protests on the Israel-Gaza war and anti-Semitism, right? That train apparently is never late with the emergence of anti-Semitism. And so, you know, when this happened in Charlottesville many years ago, and there was, you know, unanimous condemnation. And then for the people who said good people on both sides, or for the people who didn't call them out, right? Now this is another moment. This is another moment, and now on the other side of the political sphere, now's the moment to say, yes, protests are great, First Amendment is great, but now's the moment to say those people over there saying bomb Tel Aviv, go back to Poland, right, all Zionists should die, those people are not with us. Those are not the people of our movement, and we're not hearing that, Jake. We're hearing silence.
So, Jake, can I just add a few things here, because I think it's important to rebut this absurdity that was just thrown into this discussion at the last minute. Number one, President Trump had an executive order that adopted the IRA working definition. This bill ultimately would codify that into law to make sure that the Department of Education is using the IRA working definition for its discrimination enforcement cases, number one. Number two, it is not in any way saying that if you practice your faith, and I'm a practicing Catholic, I'm an Irish-Italian Catholic, okay? And I believe in Jesus Christ, I believe in the gospel. But to somehow use that to say that this bill now is going to prosecute Christians is absurd on its face, it's inflammatory, and it's irrational. What it is saying in using that contemporary example is that these examples may be considered, but that it depends on the context of what is said. If you're calling all Jews Christ killers, then yes, that is anti-Semitic. And everybody understands that. But if you're referring to the Bible in context, then no, nobody is saying that that is anti-Semitic, and nobody is saying that should somehow be utilized. The issue here is what is happening on college campuses right now.
Right.
And you have students that are hiding behind the conflict between Israel and Hamas and somehow spewing anti-Semitism, and it's being accepted by these universities. So this bill is targeting that.
Right.
That is the intent of the bill.
So, Congressman Moskowitz, I want to play something that your Democratic colleague, Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, said over the weekend when she was asked about anti-Semitism against Jewish students on college campuses. Take a listen.
I think it is really unfortunate that people don't care about the fact that all Jewish kids should be kept safe and that we should not have to tolerate anti-Semitism or bigotry for all Jewish students, whether they are pro-genocide or anti-genocide.
All Jewish students, whether they are pro-genocide or anti-genocide. Did you have a response to that, Congressman Moskowitz?
We were so close to getting a good statement there for the Jewish community. We were so close. And then right at the end, right, we're either pro-genocide or anti-genocide. Let's just straighten this. I'm anti-genocide. My 10-year-old son and my 7-year-old son, who are both Jewish boys, are anti-genocide. In fact, I haven't met a single Jew who is pro-genocide. And so, look, that's pouring gasoline on what's going on right now. That those comments are obviously dramatically unhelpful. But, Jake, you see this. This is a schism that unfortunately is going on my side. And what I don't understand is this should be a layup. This should be easy. It should be easy to say we support people who want to protest. It's their First Amendment right. We support people who want to fight for the rights of Palestinians. We support the people who want to fight against the war. Those are all protected by the First Amendment. But as soon as it goes into anti-Semitism, of go back to Poland or bomb Tel Aviv or kill all the Zionists, right? People should be saying, hold on, that's not us. We don't want to be with that. That's not our movement. In fact, you're not helping Palestinians when you say that. This should be a layup. They should be able to come out and say this. But no, they apparently can't do it. It's a step, a bridge too far, apparently.
All right, Congressman Mike Lawler of New York, Jared Moskowitz of Florida. Thanks to